Yo,
What's good?
what's going on? Yo, y'all, welcome to KK's Corner. Got myself, KK Bronson, aka Bernice. Got my guy here, Will. We here, god damn it. Bruh, the first thing I'm gonna chop off on is the gas goddamn shortage. What the hell is going on? We got a gas shortage.
I mean, I live in California. It's just I didn't even realize that was new. It's just always a gas shortage.
No. There's no gas in the hood. Like literally, it's like one gas station and a line be wrapped around the corner. Thank God I be paying attention. Like I wake up every morning, I watch the news and shit. And I heard somebody say something about gas. My shit got to like a half a tank, and I went and filled it up. Like everybody's searching for gas. Like what the hell is
Really?
going on? Really? Like there's no gas, none. I'm about to start telling motherfuckers y'all gonna have to walk. I'm about to go buy me a bicycle. Fuck that shit. I keep telling you that. I keep telling you I'm gonna buy me a bicycle. I ain't gonna get that far, but I'm gonna buy it.
You tripping? You ain't got no bicycle now. You live in Miami.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no,
I
no.
guess you'd be dead
Man,
out on the street with that damn heat.
listen, bro. I tried during the pandemic when everybody was doing the cycling and all that stuff. You know, the man, that shit just hurt, right? The little coot part right there, all that was hurting. And they told me, they say, buy these type of pants, buy this type of seat, all that. I'm too thick for all that. I'm thick down there. That shit hurt.
I think
I'm straight.
I got the mid 40s balls because I had to change my seat game up because my shit was just hurting too. Just
Bro, nah, I'm not good with bicycles. I'm sorry. I'm not. I buy
I
me some
love riding a
skates.
bike though. I love getting out
Yeah,
there. I'm like a little kid doing circles and shit.
you can do circles, you can do all that. After about 10 paddles. I tried a spinning class and all. I tried a spinning class. Boy, the inside of my thighs and my little, whatever. It was hurting. The ass, the thighs, the inside of all that, everything was hurting. I quit. I ain't
All
gonna
right, this is
quit
what
it,
we're
but
gonna
I
do.
quit.
This is what you got to do with me. When I'm
Okay.
there, we need to go to hot yoga.
Hot yoga.
Yes, it's they put you. I think it's like 118 degrees or 100 degrees or some shit. You in a hot
Mm.
sauna and you're doing yoga, so stretching, sweating. You sweat. Listen, I sweat out drinks from about 20 years ago. They doing that shit.
I mean, I do it. Sounds dope.
I
Just
did
don't want
it
to.
the first time. What I enjoy about it. The first time I ever went. You go in. I'm out of practice now. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm gonna go in here and ball. But the first time I went, you could you're like, I feel this kind of giving a change. And you come out after when you stop sweating, it's almost a euphoric feeling.
Mm.
After I think this is the LA, this is the most LA shit ever. I'm talking about Bikram yoga and shit. Uh, this was, a few years back. And then me and a couple people I worked with, we would go twice a week. After the set, during maybe the third or fourth, I could see a difference. And I'm like, I'm not flexible. Like I need to stretch more and stuff like that. And I could see a difference after like the third, fourth, fifth. Like I could see a flexibility change. And you always, man, I'm telling you, it made me more interested in yoga because I physically could feel something change quickly. Like, people want quick answers. Like that shit was hard, but it was well worth it.
Okay. I try anything once, except eating ass. I ain't doing that. But I tried the yoga.
that's that's a young person's game, eating ass.
Right. I try anything once, man. Hey, listen, with that gas situation, I ain't. It's just crazy, and I ain't doing it. Definitely ain't doing it. So that's that. Um, shit. What else been going on? Listen, I'm changing my mind about the NBA. This shit been good. I know you've been watching the NBA.
You
I
know I
love the
have.
playoffs now. I know the playoffs now. You know, I be thinking like, I can't wait till the playoffs. That's when everybody have to play. So it's dope as hell right now. Boy, them games been so good, so good. You know, I take that NBA, I take it back. I like the playoffs, but I hate the NBA. I love the NBA playoffs, bro.
It's a
Dog,
different
it's been
game. It's a
crazy.
different game.
What has been your best game that you've watched in the last week?
I, I mean, I'm shocked and impressed with Sacramento. I'm blown
Sacramento?
away by Sacramento.
Did
Just,
you watch that game last night?
of course,
Of course.
I'm just,
Listen, that's late night.
I'm just impressed. Yeah, so I watched last night's game and I saw the Stomp the Yard with starring Draymond Green.
Hey man, I always tell people Draymond should have played in the 90s, man. Draymond should have played in the 90s. First of all, I'm a Draymond fan. I think he's a straight up hood, whatever. But
I am too.
he was so nonchalant with it. He grabbed my leg, so I couldn't go forward. So I had to step on him. Like literally, like Draymond, bruh, you are not in the hood, my boy. But like I say, he is that guy. He that guy for me. Like I see without him, the little red boys might get swept without Draymond. Because Draymond is like he's like the it factor for them. Like every team have an it factor, the guy that does all the dirty work. He's the dirty work guy. He's the cleanup guy. Like he might not score nothing, he might not do nothing like that, but his presence alone it's gonna make people be like, I ain't taking that in there, boy. That might foul me. He might push me out the air. He's crazy, man. He crazy. But
Well,
the player,
see, for me, I'm a Detroit Pistons fan, for better
right?
or worse. I always have been. I love the Bad Boys when I was a kid, but my favorite Piston, I have two favorite Pistons: Chauncey Billups, big shot. I love that dude. But Ben Wallace. I went to Virginia Union with Ben Wallace, and then he was on my favorite team when they won the title. And
Okay.
that's what that it factor. That's what like Ben Wallace wasn't drafted. He kind of bounced around a little bit. He was undersized center, and but just all the work that needed to be done. And then I listen. I love Draymond. I love his talk. I like the chatter out there. I mean, you can't get to this point in sports without having some ego. And
Right.
wow, that is. I mean, people don't understand the low percentage of chances that you get to that point just with the work and everything. And it's going to get hot out there.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's been so dope. I saw, it's been couple key injuries out there too. Boy, Street Clothes got hurt for a minute. He came back in and he dominated. I'm surprised at the Lakers. That's my surprise win that happened. Because them young boys coming off the bench where LeBron ain't got to do nothing, just sit back there and let his hair recede. I don't even think he tried to do anything. He was just chilling. He played his role. That
I was having this discussion this week too. Look, this is my question to you because I was on the fence. I'm like, is LeBron out here just kind of playing a little bit of chess because he knows he can relax, but still kind of directing this through letting them run. As long as this, the young boys can run the game, he can pick and choose his spots. Or is he just old? Or is he just old now?
Oh man. I just think you got to pick your battles. Like everybody said, you got to pick your battles, right? So when everybody else I see on offense, he just walk over there to the corner and ain't no fool in their right mind gonna take their eyes off of LeBron James. So you got an advantage right there because when they start to drive, I'm scared to help because LeBron might cut back door and he still could get up 10 feet and bam it on your ass. So I'm kind of like reluctant to try and even help. He literally like maybe 4 or 5 steps away from the 3-point line, sitting there. He probably just like filing his nails and shit, all type of stuff. He He
I
not
was
really
blown
into it,
away.
but yeah, you seen it?
I
He
was
was
watching it
literally
too.
chilling the whole second half, chilling. So, I'm surprised at the Lakers. The Lakers got to win. The Heat got to win. Tyler Hero broke his hand.
I hate to see that,
Okay.
man. I hate to see that.
Let me talk about this injury because I'm like, first of all, you barely play good defense. That's number one. Number two, you running a slide to get a ball that you wasn't really even going to get, and then you break your hand. But it ain't the point about breaking the hand. He ran off, came back in the game, didn't get out. They threw the ball to him.
And he still pulled
This
one.
man tried to shoot a goddamn shot.
Shoot or shoot.
You hear me? Now, if I
Shoot or
know I'm
shoot.
hurt, what shoot or shoot. Oh, I'm glad we was up in that game. I'm glad we was up in that game. Another key injury. Giannis.
I hate to see that. Yeah.
Giannis got hurt. Giannis fell on that boom boom. Boy, that tailbone looked like it broke, but he a big, strong guy. Just the injuries just plaguing people, especially the people who played all year and really didn't sit out. Those are the people. The playoffs gonna come down to who really won it, because this thing changing now, boy. These young boys, they running, they scrappy, they up and down. All the older guys just sitting and waiting for something to happen. Man, look, it's that time, boy. It's that time for a change, and that's what I like to see. I like to see the up and coming stars do their thing, and it's been.
That's why I hate to see. That's why I hate to see Ja Morant go down like that, hurt his arm, because he is my favorite young player. Like he's just my favorite young player. I enjoy Memphis. I'm rooting on LeBron. He's an Ohio boy. I'm Ohio boy. Like LeBron, but I feel like I love watching that team. I like, even if they fighting with people, I like it. I like the theater of it. Fuck that.
So you like Memphis. Memphis gonna get their ass whooped.
Yeah,
Memphis
they about to lose
basketball unless they learn how to run the set. And when you get to the playoffs, it's a different hype in the defense. That's number one. Number two, you playing 7 games against people, right? 7. Now
that's why LeBron chilling is right there. LeBron saving that energy for those difficult moments is so key. I just thought the Fakers were going to be Sacramento and Memphis was going to be tougher at this point. But there's only one game. I just expected Sacramento to be the ones, but like the Lakers might have fell into even better spot than if they would have played Sacramento.
Right. So it's just exciting right now.
It's so much fun.
Who I told you was tough when we talked last time? Boston.
Yeah.
That Boston stuff serious. That Boston stuff. They like a bunch of mid-age, not old, not young. They seasoned right now. Them boys come out there, boy. They could be down by 100. They gonna shoot their way back in the game. They gonna hustle their way back in the game. I like Boston, Cole. I like Boston. And if Giannis stronger, that's gonna be a good Eastern championship game, because I don't think nobody else gonna stop them over there in the East. That's just my opinion. Sacramento look real good. I like the Warriors. I like them. But if Draymond said, if they really suspend Draymond for a couple of games, I haven't watched it. But if he gets suspended or he have to sit out, the Red Boys gonna be in trouble, man. They're gonna be in trouble.
Don't suspend him. Let this play out. Like, come on. Like,
they're gonna be in trouble. It's unfortunate. I know
there's a lot of excitement out here because of what the Lakers showed in that first game. I think everybody was scared because of the play-in. They looked sloppy. But they, that was they had 2 chances, but that was, when you got that one game play-in and some people got the jitters, you know what I mean? But now, like you said, a 7-game series, you can settle in. You learn your opponent. You know what I mean? You're working with this, and especially with the rest that they have now. You're sitting. You got a couple days off. You're really healing. This is, and if that's why I was like, oh shit, when I saw LeBron like that, and I'm like, he's chilling, like he's just surveying the scene. I was like, he hasn't really exerted any energy. Like they're in the young Lakers are just out here scrapping. And I'm like,
Right. See,
oh,
that's
I
the
was like,
thing.
if he's chilling this early, the playoffs are in trouble.
Right. See, they're using a bench. Them guys coming off the bench, they doing their thing. They shooting well. Everything's going well for them, especially in that first game. I mean, we got 6 more games we got to see. I just think the playoffs has started with the bang, and I'm interested now. I'm like, I'm in it. I just that how the hell Brooklyn made it in. Brooklyn looks so shitty, bro.
I mean, there's always going to be a team that's scrappy and
That should
like
stink. That should stink over
catching.
Brooklyn.
Plus, everybody was like, everybody wasn't probably giving them their best because once Kevin Durant and Kyrie were gone, it's like, oh, I mean, they still got look, they got talent. They ain't got a killer. They ain't got a killer. Like it's
Listen, man, they gonna be out of there, man. Fuck all that.
oh
Don't
yeah.
get to the good stuff. They gonna be out. They gonna be out. First round. They gonna be out.
I mean, I'm still not really impressed with the Knicks. The only thing I will say is they're always going to give teams problems because Thibodeau, their coach, is a defensive minded coach. And that,
No, they very good defensively. And that's what I think the playoffs gonna come down to because you got high scoring teams like Golden State, 100, what the score was 101 to 100 and something like that. It wasn't even that high. Like when you watch regular season games, it'd be 154 to 120 something. Like really, the defense has bulked up a whole bunch. And for the Heat to score 130 points on Milwaukee, that was unbelievable. They shot 60%. Like you don't do that in the playoffs. In the playoffs, people buckle down, they do whatever, but it's gonna be tough for them without Hero because that goddamn Duncan don't play no goddamn defense.
that's
And yeah, so
they
with
paying a
that,
lot of money for no defense in the playoffs for
right,
just you got a clip. You got a
you can't
clip, but
you can't even shot fool off. You can't send them nowhere. Don't
but
nobody.
Bam needs to be tougher in the paint too. I feel like he
Man,
wasn't great. He wasn't just you got to ask for the ball sometimes. Like that's what Jimmy Butler. He's a dog, so he's gonna like. I love his game always, but like Bam, I'm like, come on, dog. Like we need you out here just bulldogging these dudes. Like you need to be out here throwing bows and like.
anytime he go up against bigger guys, bigger than him or whatever, he act like a pussy. But Kevin Love showed out. And then we brought him out there for he stretches the defense out, which make it easier for Jimmy to penetrate. So that's a good thing. Kevin Love hit by a couple threes, did his
Couple
thing.
charges. He took a lot of charges. He was just
Charges on defense. Yeah, man, that like changed the dynamic of our team now that Kevin Love is like in the rotation heavy. And that's what we need. We need a big guy in there that can either stretch out the defense, get rebounds, play defense. Like it's playoffs been awesome, man.
Kevin
Awesome.
Love. Kevin Love need to go into the movie business after this. He looked like a motherfucker in a Christmas movie, an ensemble cast, don't he? With the
Definitely do.
grays.
Right. Definitely do.
He took like 7 charges though. He was just on the ground every time.
That man too long, boy. Listen, he fall hard. The taller you are, the harder you fall, man. Them guys be falling, man. He might be got on some butt pads. That shit I need for my bicycle. For real. So, man, hey, listen. We I got a text message from my stepdaughter up in college. Tell me about this China thing because they sent them an email telling them that they can't like they Wi-Fi is no longer dealing with companies from China. So TikTok is all the little apps and everything from China is banned from their servers. What's going on with that, man?
Well, I oddly, this is part of my field. I've been following this for the last several years. A few years back, I can't remember if it's the end of Trump's term, right, regardless what, we did the rip and replace. And that kind of began the start of the government putting pressure on businesses to get rid of wiring, cabling for fiber optics, those kind of things beneath the ground, all Asian, you know, products, especially China, because of data mining. So stealing information about the United States, blah, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so they think that it's embedded. But also, you know, I've really been following it because of the stock market, oddly enough, because, you know, I'd say maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I just kind of had an inkling that because of that, you have to look at the technology companies that are American made. I'm giving a little tip of mine. You have to look at the American made companies, or the companies that are in line with the United States government, that they are willing to use these fiber optics to replace. Because if you Google it and you look up rip and replace, that has been the government's thing for a few years. So it's the reason why when you go to other countries, we don't have like a cell phone Huawei. It's an Asian company, but like if you go to other countries, a lot of people have it. It's just as popular as an iPhone or a Samsung.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, they're trying, part of it is also, this is all on the meta, on the big scope of this thing. It's also to kind of punish one market and correct their own at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? And so you demand this wiring out, you add money into the government, you blah 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 by you regulating it over, and so I'm sure it's somewhere in the middle of trying to take control of this and putting your own money into it so that your own constituents make the money, along with an issue with data and with
Mm-hmm.
stealing and mining data, because you want to steal it for like, I mean, so fuck, you can't let you can't
I don't want
listen.
you to steal from my people. I want to steal from my people. Who the
Well,
hell
people,
you with?
this is just the dope game. It's just the biggest
Right,
dope game. Like,
right,
because it's legal
right,
sales. They
right.
sell you and you gotta eat it. You gotta take it. You gotta, consume it. We consume it now. That's how we're talking. And so on the meta, that is that kind of perspective. On the individual basis, we're looking at different states and how they're going to approach. We're really kind of individually, more than any time in the United States kind of history as we know it, more separate than since like kind of slavery, since late 1800s. My opinion, because the states are really kind of deciding what goes on in the states now. I mean, I know because of
Yeah.
DeSantis. I know for a totally different reason. I have those kind of uh, perspective. But so Tennessee, I think, I don't want to. I think she's in Tennessee. Am I just talking out of turn?
Yeah, she in Tennessee. Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
she, uh, I'm not. I don't know enough about TikTok to say whether it should be banned or not. Well, I will say right away. What I will say is that I think that a number of Republican states are moving toward banning TikTok because of this data mining.
Hmm.
But I also think it's a control thing. I don't. I'm not saying you should go the Democrat way or the Republican way, like on this issue, because I just don't know enough about the specifics of TikTok. Uh, but they are claiming that it's a lot of data mining, and but I've thought about this, and it also could just be that it is a stream of revenue that they're losing that's going to another country, and it could be both.
I mean, everything possible. It's just like when you look at it now. I was one person. It was like, what's going on in the world? And I was like, and one guy was like, well, were you alive during 2001 through 2006? It was the same, like change up everything going on the same as it was back then. But I don't recall like a whole bunch of things that's going on, like changing telling people, you can't use this type of social media. and you can't do this. I just think the world has been, everybody has been partners in crime as far as what I think about with certain things. We use you till we don't need you no more, and then when we don't need you no more, like most people say, you and your partner can't want to do the same thing in the business. Y'all can't be the same. Like you have to do something, he have to do something. Y'all can't be doing the same thing. Then one of y'all gonna try and cut the other out. And I just think there's a lot of that going on. Plus, this Russia thing got everybody up in roars because at this point it's still going on. People starting to take sides, and you're getting threats if you take this side or don't take that side. I'm not really into politics because at the end of the day, what's going on in the state of Florida is bullshit. It's just crazy. Like, I'm like, do I need to move to Bahamas or some shit like that? Well, I could catch me some fish and some conch and vibe and get me a little hut, whatever, and don't have on no clothes all day. You know me, I'm ready to go somewhere to an island, but it's just
First of all,
crazy.
don't give away the secret.
Okay, you're right. I'm moving to Honduras.
Don't give away any secrets.
I'm telling you, right?
I will say this though. You said somebody mentioned to you that it's similar to 2001 and to 2006. I will say from my perspective, in a neoliberalist capitalist society, I think it is similar. I don't think it's about social media. I think it's about shifts in governmental control of where the money goes.
Right.
And so, war creates money. Mm-hmm. And so, what a lot of people are not really discussing as much with the war in Ukraine, this is not a political view at all, is that we are providing, more military equipment, mm-hmm. which is, huge billions of dollars of contracts. And so this is a money game. And I think that not enough people are willing to admit to themselves that governments and nations play with lives to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like they've done it since the beginning of time. Like when did warring any of these places become like self-righteous and be like, oh no, we're not doing this. Like money runs this shit. And so
right.
Like, let's not pretend that we're so egotistical to think that we are important in their grand scheme. Honestly, right. Like,
man, well, let's get off that shit. That shit depressing, man. I just be looking at the news and I be shaking my head, just like, I hate waking up in the morning because the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I turn on my TV and they be on the news. And then I see so much shit going on. I be like, man, can we just go back to sunflowers and weed and sitting out on the porch in the grass and, stuff that people made people happy, I'm almost reluctant to say they need to throw the pandemic back out there and put everybody back in the goddamn house. That's where all this shit screamed from. And I was in there like, the pandemic done raised everything from bread, milk, eggs. Even when guys go get a haircut went from $20 to $50. Now, I'm trying to see what fucking ingredients in a haircut that makes your goddamn haircut go from 20 to 50. Is the fucking alcohol a lot? Is the goddamn, you already got your clippers, bro. Is that little white paper they wrap around your neck went up about $1 or $2? What is it? What the hell is it that everything is going up?
See, that's the funny thing. It's like, they always talk about the shifts in the market, but it never goes down. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like once it gets to a price, they might start slowly trying to bump, but it never really goes down. Like they just find a base that people are willing to pay without rioting. And then they try to stick around and hover around that.
Dog, I ain't been to the grocery store, like literally, how you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to the grocery store today. And you go grocery shopping and throw shit in. Nigga, you got to go there and cook some shit that you gonna eat and have leftovers with that motherfucker. Like, we're not really going to the grocery store to just have shit sitting in the refrigerator. The only thing I got a lot of is water and canned goods. Like water and canned goods, that's not a, like I could literally stick my face in the refrigerator and see the fucking back of the refrigerator right now. Literally. Like, I'm like, I can't go to the fucking grocery store. I
And
don't
think
be
about it.
home because, like, it's crazy.
Can I ask you a question? Have you thought about it this way? That they're just conditioning us to be ready for food shortages in the future.
And I said that. That's why I try to keep my little canned goods and shit. Cause I eat cold shit out the can. I be thinking about it. I be having my little Vienna size. I be having everything, my little canned goods or whatever. But I think the food shortage is literally coming with all of the what everything else we just been talking about. People gonna start holding out, like they fucking up people farms and everything like that. Like, see, I'm finna get Oprah and them and call Oprah and ask her, do she need some help on her shit? Cause Oprah, me and you might have to be best friends fucking around with all this going on. Cause man, look, you gotta get ready. That's why they raising everything. Everything is just crazy.
With that said, I'm gonna recommend a movie to the audience, an old school movie that has always represented the sentiment of what I think the world will be like in 10 to 20 years.
Oh fuck. I know you don't watch everything, so you gonna have me in the house crying and going to the grocery store and digging a fucking bunker and shit. Oh Lord Jesus.
This is what the homework. No, it's light reading, as
What is
they
it?
would say about a book. Total Recall, 1990, with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hell yeah, I remember that movie. I remember.
What I want you to do when you watch it, I want you to watch it again, but I want you to watch the background. I want you to watch how people are living, not just the action parts with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I
Mm-hmm.
want you to watch the parts when they show the street, when they show the rich and the poor, and how dire and desperate the world has become, so that the only thing that the world can agree on is this game, Total Recall, where they send supposed criminals in to fight to the death. But the background, if you watch the background, and when it came out, like, this is what the world's really going to be like.
I'm definitely gonna go home and watch it today. I'm definitely gonna go watch it. If I don't watch it today, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. I had a full week, man. Listen, it's just to get off of that and get on some other shit. I was we were talking about the student and the teacher that's been on the news. I think the teacher took the student phone. The student tried to slap the teacher, and the teacher beat the student ass. Now, your mom your mom was a teacher for some time, and I just this generation right here is
Wild.
yeah. I don't think that authority, adults, nobody really frightens them because it's not coming from the home. Like I was scared of my mom. Like she'll
I'm
whip my
still
ass.
scared of my mom.
Right, she'll still whip my ass. So when I watched the video, you know, disruption in the class, rules are rules. If the teacher say no phones out or whatever the case may be, put your phone up. If your phone get confiscated, a teacher's not gonna keep your phone. They either gonna give it back to you at the end of class or call your parents and have a conversation and still get your phone back because that's your personal property. But at the end of the day, rules are rules. Now, abiding the rules is something that kids kind of push you with. This is like, fuck that. That's my phone. I'm gonna use it. This is what I'm gonna do. But anyway, the teacher had the phone on the desk. The little girl came up to the desk, you know, going back and forth with the teacher, pushing on the teacher. She raised her hand at the teacher and went to hit at the teacher. And the teacher went straight to the goddamn hood. Now, it's a lot of backlash because
Sorry.
some people, you know, oh, the teacher should have did something different, or she bet that if that couldn't have been my child, or that couldn't have been this, that could have. You could look at it two ways.
Is there
First,
video?
yeah, it actually been like floating around. It's on the news,
How have I not seen this?
all the little social media outlets, all the little blog stuff and everything like that. But you can spin it two ways. The teacher restraint and everything like that. Like we learn restraint things, but most people don't. The child putting her hands on the teacher. How do you feel about a child putting their hands on a teacher. We gonna go there first.
Yeah, I mean, I think that how old was this person?
I'm gonna say between 14 and 16, 13 and 16. Young adult. I'm gonna say young adult. That's it.
Listen, you have to defend yourself. I haven't seen the video, so I don't know about going straight hood, but
Oh, as soon as you get off, you go see that shit, and then we'll talk about it later on the phone. But yeah. So
I mean, you gotta defend, you gotta be able to defend yourself.
Right. So most people, like, definitely in today's world, teachers are finding themselves defending themselves more than usual. Like, you come from outside of wherever, then you come inside and you have to protect yourself against the kids that you're supposed to be teaching. And like I say, that's why teachers need a raise. And down here, like, you don't have to have a license to carry a concealed weapon. Like I say, it's like a double jeopardy, because you're not supposed to have a weapon within so many yards from a school, but you can carry a weapon without a license. Like, that's why I say DeSantis is just, it's kind of like he's producing chaos so that everybody can off each other. Like, that's what I just feel. But, the teacher, the funny part about the video, though, the teacher ain't having no drawers. So while she fighting, all you see is ass. So I'm like, ma'am, you can defend yourself, but can you put on some drawers, please? Like, literally, she ain't got on no drawers, bro. You gotta watch the video. She ain't got on no drawers. All you see is the teacher ass while she on there. She whooping ass and showing ass at the same time. It's like, you getting ass whipping and you showing that ass. So I'm kind of like, hey, man, is it that hard that the teacher can't buy no drawers or wash no drawers? Hey, y'all need to give them some money. For real. Well, you got to go. I think it's on like the Shade Room or some shit like that. I saw it on the Shade Room. I saw it on like all of the different little things. And I'm looking like, wait, she ain't got no fucking drawers on. Before you get into anything, please wear drawers to work, teachers. Come on now. You trying to get little Timmy a shot or something.
You cannot listen. You cannot be doing that with these young people running around here. Listen, the trapper, look, in my day, the trapper keeper was your friend. You'd be pressing your shit down. Like, oh, you can't control those things when you're a young person. That shit just, it lives on its own.
And they wondering why they say, ain't nobody trying to break up the fight. Ain't nobody trying. No, because they looking at the teacher coochie. The teacher got all the little cooch out. Got ass and cooch. Hey, man, that's crazy, man. I just laugh. It's like a little humor in everything, but it was a serious issue, man. Like, y'all can't be having y'all have to stop being friends with your kids. Your kids got to have some fear of authority, some type of respect. It don't even have to be fear. It's just the thing about respect. And that's just that on that right there. I'm just
young people flourish with boundaries. They need boundaries. They need to, they need structure. Like, people, when you're developing, you flourish with structure.
Right. So, a person can, what would you do if you was in the class and somebody just tried to fight you? And you know what my first response is? Like, they wouldn't try me like that. You have the people who, kids are easily embarrassed. So if you call them out on anything, oh yeah, they're gonna cuss, they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. You get them in that room by themselves or talk to them by themselves, they shaking like booty meat. They scared, they ain't got the audience there no more. And I think that's why most of the things happening today in the world with the young kids is about embarrassment and them trying to look a certain way for their peers and social media and they hood and whoever they hang out with. But that's basically it. That the morals are gone, because I'm gonna look at him, and if he be like, oh man, you soft, or you this or you that, Now, everything in me, I got to prove myself and end up in jail or dead because I had to prove myself to people that don't even matter. Man, we got to grab a hold of our community as like literally a Black community and even a white community. They have to grab, because nobody can teach our kids about us more than us. And if our parents are being friends and condoning the bullshit, it's going to continue and the cycle going to continue. I always tell you, I'm scared because these motherfuckers going to be the ones that have to take care of us when we get old. And we not going to be well. They're going to take your little insurance money and they going to go on fucking Instagram and they going to floss with your insurance money and they going to cremate your ass. You ain't going to have no good ass funeral or nothing. Y'all parents, y'all better stop putting all y'all money into them. Y'all better buy your plot, plan out everything, pay for it now, and send out your early invitations. Like, if I die, this is where I'm going to get buried. This is where my funeral going to be. I want to be with this pastor, that pastor. This is what I want to wear, and put me on some draws. I don't want no draws when I get married. Like, literally, y'all can just turn me over backwards and everybody who tried me could kiss my ass. I'm telling you, just I want a good little nice little going home, a party type. Because I'm a happy-go-lucky person. You know, you ain't gonna try me though, but I'm good. At this point, like, people look at me like, oh, you was mean, you scream all the time. That was almost 10 years ago. Now I scream, I probably get a goddamn headache, Will.
Oh,
I'd be like,
you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Everything hurt.
Look, I am worried about the next generation or two, them taking care of y'all, because I won't be here. I'm taking this show on the road. I could promise you that I'm taking this show on the road.
Hell yeah.
I don't even know if I'm gonna visit at a certain age. I'm gonna just watch it from afar with the binoculars. It's wild in that motherfucker.
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, it's crazy. Now let's talk about also, like, I was looking, and you know, it's prom season. I'm seeing like kids literally dying from car accidents during prom season. Parents are going out getting these kids Corvettes and Porsches and all these fast cars. How the hell you gonna get a kid those kind of cars when you drive a Toyota Corolla? They ain't drive nothing that go over 80 miles an hour. Now they got something that goes 0 to 140 in 5 seconds. Like, you know, my condolences to all that. And it's been like, I could count on a total like 4 to 5 kids in prom season, just like really kicking off. So I just want to, you know, shoot it out there. Parents, do not get your kids something that they can't handle. Sit them down and talk to them about, you know, obeying street rules and not trying to show out and the speed and limits and all that. You could do everything you want to do. Look good. When we was driving to the prom, we drove slow because you gonna know that's me. You gonna know that's me. I'm driving. I'm turning the corner so slow. I'm gonna roll down all the windows, bitch. You gonna know that's me. You know this.
Look, that's something there's an important point in that from our generation to the young generation. Right. They don't do the roll-bys anymore. Like, they don't do just you just rolling through certain hoods. Like, they don't do that anymore. We used to do the stroll everywhere. Like, I had a little ghetto one we used to do in Dayton, Ohio when I was growing up. Look, LA, up until maybe 03, it would take you 2.5 hours to get through the Sunset Strip because it was just a stroll. Like, everybody was just riding in their cars, slow motion, just checking out the scene. They don't do that no more.
I keep telling them, I say, listen, y'all get ready for the prom so late. Y'all got to have a prom watch. Y'all got to change 3 and 4 times, all that stuff. I say, if my prom started at 8, I would dress by 5 because I had to ride by everybody's house and beg for some money. By the time I got to the prom, I was almost $1,000 strong because you know you got to go to grandma's house Grandma gonna give you the most money because you know you dress like you going to church. Grandma gonna give you the most money. You gotta hit everybody, take pictures, do that, do this, do that. Man, these kids today will never know what we went through and what we did. Like it wasn't no taking pictures with the cell phone. You had to take them pictures with a Polaroid, shake them hoes out, put
You
it
had your
over.
instant ones, and the other ones you get in 3-4 days.
Right.
You had to get them developed.
Right. So man, we just need everything is fast. Everything is fast, computer fast.
This is my question. I never really think about it, but how did we find each other back then? Because you'd never be home and your friends would never be home. I'd never be home and the homies would never be home. I mean, we had a pager, but you had to find a phone to use that. We just always linked up. We just found each other.
Literally because we was always outside. We outside. So I just tell them it's different. Like we always outside. Most of the kids now, they video games, computer stuff. We always outside. So, in your hood, you knew everybody. Everybody knew you. You knew Miss Johnson. You know Miss Wilson. You knew this. You knew that. We were outside. Literally, we was at the park. We were riding bikes back then. Everything was outside, so it was easy. And plus, shit, your mama ain't really let you use the phone anyway, so you definitely had to find a way to use the phone, sneak and use the phone, hold the phone down, act like you sleep when they coming. But that phone booth, that was the best friend right there. Them pages, you bet if you were lucky to get a pager back then. Like literally, I had a pager. My mama page 911. I mean, bring your ass to the crib. There ain't nothing in emergency. It's gonna be an emergency if your ass don't make it there. So yeah, I had all that, but your parents knew where you was. You was either at school, some extracurricular activity, or your ass outside. And in Florida, once you outside, you ain't running in and out. They're gonna put the motherfucking water jug outside on the porch for you. Because when you come in, you're in. You come in, you in. That's what I love about my childhood, boy. That's how I get this dog, boy. I'm telling you.
I miss it, man. I just, I was having a conversation the other day, and I had a hoop, and we used to. I had one of the only hoops, unless we went to the park, and it was John Wolfe Park in Dayton, and there was no trees, so there's no shade, and it was raised, and so it was just the Lord's son beating down on you if you went to the park. But like my house, we had a nice. We were on a corner, and so it was a decent sized space for a hoop. And so everybody used to come over. We had this beat up, we found a bench. And so, we would run 4-on-4 in the back. And just, like I have these like, I think everybody has these memories of those, kind of just special moments. And everybody playing hard when a girl comes through, blah, blah, blah. But my best memories, I had a Nintendo and, I like video games, but I wasn't just a full-on gamer. And, but those memories don't stick out. The memories outside, riding bikes, talking shit, the dog chasing us, all that shit. That shit is burned into my memory. And those are the beautiful memories.
I was a project kid, man. I ain't gonna lie. Most people don't say my grandma stayed in the projects. I was raised in the project, like I always tell you, Town Park, Porky Beans, PSU. We had different games like knock on people doing run. That's my car. Shit like that, hide and go seek. Once you got older, they wanted to play hide and go hunch. No, sir, we ain't hunching out here. But it was just different back then, and I just wanted to get back to where the kids could literally be kids, because I think it's just they focused. They're almost 5 to 10 years ahead of their time with what they see and what they do. So parents, if you're out there and you're listening, you're watching the podcast, man, let the kids be kids. Let the boys be boys, the girls be girls, and all that other good shit. So we can have more productive citizens growing up. Let them fall.
It's a good point too, that losing the childhood so much younger and needing to, we wanted to be adults, but we had, we just have fun with our friends, just, doing dumb shit. And it's just so fast now.
Right.
And, just with the access to all types of information, it's just, it is, it's a blessing and a curse. I mean, it's,
Right.
the information is so much quicker. You can learn about, things across the world, but at the same time, you're just affected in certain ways that they they can't quantify and aren't trying to, even at a successful rate, to understand it. Like, it's it's kind of like cops and robbers. you know the police are always 10 steps behind what the thieves out here doing in the streets, because like
Mm-hmm.
they trying to play catch up the whole time. And you know I mean, don't get me started on the government, but I feel is
Please stay on.
complicit
Please stay
just
on.
on a total end. And this isn't this is a just a it's open, not a Democrat or Republican view, but all parties did not regulate, or at least keep watch early on of the internet. And that's not to say, like, people think they want it all free. This isn't The internet that we look at isn't completely free. That's why you get ads. That's why all this shit, like, they've learned how to monetize it better, but it was never fully open to what people think. Now you can search for all kind of random shit, but like that's not completely open. Um, but they didn't regulate who was watching, and so
Right.
it's easy to pollute the system. And so, and they waited late to
Mm-hmm.
start trying to work on it. And then, instead of governing to help the people. And I mean, look, even the government operates on the money standard. And so they're trying to make the most money. It's a weighing scale, the most money they can make without making too many slaves of the system.
Right.
Like, they're going to make some slaves of the system, but how much can they maximize without people turning tables over? And so, they didn't regulate early enough, and now they got rip and replace. They're tearing out coming back around to what we were saying. They're tearing out the fiber system because they allowed it, because they are here arguing instead of governing, even in an intelligent way that will work best for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're going to try to make the most money out of stuff, and they're never going to give people the worth. As long as the system, they're never going to give people the money they're worth. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
But they're doing things to the detriment of like actual security of themselves as well. Like tighten up your ship.
Yeah.
Like, if you
That's
were a
why I feel
coach,
like.
you would have been fired after the
Right.
half a season.
Right. So there's really not a middle class anymore. There's just a people who get by, the poor, and then the rich. Like, I don't know what the middle class is anymore, because people, the cost of living is raising and nothing else is raising. Like, even minimum wage is not enough for minimum wage. Like, when minimum wage went up, the middle class wage should have been up. So listen,
Look,
I'm getting off
if
of this
you
goddamn shit, man. I'm mad right now. You done got me mad with this bullshit.
look, this is the thing. There's a number of societies, not every, but there's a good amount of societies in the past, Spain being one of the most recent examples of the destruction of the middle class, the bourgeoisie
Mm.
in 17 1800s, which ultimately, when they were the world powers for a couple hundred years, they ran their cycle. They burn out the people without kind of sharing the wealth amongst, and they burn out their middle class, and they've never recovered since.
Right.
So, it's really more it's a tipping scale. It's just, nothing lasts forever. And so, you know, when does that bubble actually burst? I mean, and not to say that it bursts within our lifetime, but that motherfucker's coming. Like,
Right. 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 So, man, I mean, it is what it is. So we just gotta hold on and be strong as a people and try and figure it out. I told you, I'm moving. I'm going with you, dog. Tell me when we packing up.
Listen, I'm packed. I can be ready at the airport in 15 minutes.
All
I'm
I'm packing,
always
all
ready.
I'm packing is drawers.
Who needs those?
Right. Who needs those? If the teacher ain't got on none, I don't need none. Hey, yo, man. Well, listen, let me tell y'all something. We about to close this one out. Make sure y'all raise y'all kids the right way. Make sure y'all wear drawers. Make sure y'all save up. Make sure y'all get y'all some good goods to keep in your house, just in case we start running out of food. Make sure y'all watch the goddamn NBA playoffs. This your girl KK and KK's Corner. Yo.
Peace.